What's up, nail geeks, and welcome back to another Emily DeMolly release. We have 6 new polishes to check out, including 2 additional polishes that I'm throwing in this video that are going to be available through a separate collab. I'll have more information on that when we get to that part of the video. But first, let's check out the 6 new polishes coming to Emily DeMolly's website. Starting off with 4 Hours. This is described as a multi-chrome polish that shifts from bronze to green to a dark blue. This is what I would describe as a very earthy multi-chrome. It's interesting to me because the base itself looks like it's got a bit of a burgundy-ish sort of tint. It's quite vampy, and you can kind of see it on the edges of your nail there. Towards my cuticles, you can kind of get that idea. I think it helps the color roll be more dramatic, and this is so in your face. Mostly you'll see what you see on my full hand shot here. It's this strong coppery red sort of appearance, kind of bronzish, but then we've also got a bit of gold and green, and there is that dark blue, but that's at the most extreme angles. I'm going to suggest 3 light coats and a glossy top coat, and go in light on your brush strokes to prevent any sort of streaking. And Fascinate is a dark purple polish with blue aurora shimmer and a copper magnetic effect. I think this month I have swatched probably over 50 magnetic polishes, and I promise those of you who are asking for my magnetic tutorial, it is coming. I have so much examples to show you all. Fascinate is one of those magnetic types that has a light to medium feel on the pigment, so it's going to respond well to a magnet regardless if you use a ring or a bar magnet. It's going to be pretty responsive. I had no issues using my Magic Magnetic Top Coat with it either, and you can see right there on my full hand shot that it looks beautiful unmagnetized too. Now, I would say this is more of a somewhat subtle magnetic effect in that the magnetic pigment and the base color itself is in the same color family, but you will get a ton of movement from it. Don't forget to magnetize your polish after applying your quick dry glossy top coat, just to make sure you seal in your design. This is really pretty. It's got this cool toned sort of base to it, so I think it's going to be flattering across the board. And Sing Along is one of my top picks in this set, no surprise, and it's described as a bright aqua blue base with a large particle blue shimmer. Again, this is what I would consider as one of Emily DeMolly's foil type finishes. We've got a very large particle shimmer. It gives you that nice glimmery sort of almost like ocean water, if you will, and it builds very, very well. I think if you're rocking nubbins or shorties, you might be able to get away with 2 coats, but if you have any type of free edge or wide load nail problems like yours truly, I think 3 coats is perfect. Be careful on this as you want to go in light and not overwork it, again, to prevent any sort of brush strokes on your nails. Just let it self-level because it applies really well, so no need to go in harsh with it. With a Smile is described as a pale blue curly base with an assortment of neon colored glitters. I do agree with that official description. I will say, however, I think the blue base to this is like a full vat of white paint if you took like 3 drops of blue and mix it in. It's very, very pale, very, very light. I think very bright lights, you will see it almost have a white appearance, but it's just so lightly tinted. Now, I had no issues getting glitters out of the bottle onto the brush, no need for fishing. However, the glitters are heavier, so you'll just need to do a little bit of careful placement, like what I did with the brush there. No need to get fancy or over technical with it. In retrospect, I should have gone back with a glitter smoothing top coat and my glossy top coat, as this did leave me with a touch of texture, and what you're seeing in my swatches and my full hand shot is no glitter smoothing top coat. So I would strongly recommend it with this one. Throwing Shade is a gray nail polish with strong purple aurora shimmer and blue magnetic effect. This has a lighter formula to it, so I'm going to strongly suggest 3 normal coats, at least Trisha's normal style, which I tend to go in heavy-handed when I paint because I have such wide nails, but you'll want to have plenty of magnetic pigment on your surface to get a very in-your-face design. Unmagnetized, it's beautiful, it's glowy, it's got that nice blue shimmer that I so adore, but when you magnetize it, you can see there's quite a bit of movement, very much like Fascinate. I would say these are like distant cousins, where Fascinate was the pinky magenta. This is that glowy, ethereal type of blue. It's in the same color family again, and it's not quite so subtle, but it's most of the movement that you're seeing once you magnetize it. I would suggest a glossy top coat with this one, as it did dry down quite flat for me. And here is what happens next. This is a really pale peach base with strong blue Aurora shimmer. The base to this is quite warm, and on me, I think it was pulling almost a super neutral beige on myself. So this is going to play up with your undertones. Overall, it is very flattering though. So medium and deep skin tones, do not shy away from this one. It's very, very pretty. The blue shimmer is quite strong, and it's almost reminiscent of the topper that we saw from the last release. Very, very pretty. Go in light on this one too, because it's so packed full of shimmer. You don't want to get any types of streaking. And I would suggest 2 normal or 3 light coats to build it up to full opacity, like what I did here. The next 2 polishes I have to show you all are part of the Indies Down Under collab. This is an Australian collaboration with the Australian indie polish makers. I have both of Haley's, Emily DeMolly's polishes to show you all, so let's check those out. Twilight Tides is described as a deep navy jelly base with white glitters and subtle copper to green shimmer. This is beautiful and is my second pick. Again, I know I'm being blue biased, but this is it's like water on your nails. When you build it up to opacity, you're gonna have this pond effect with the glitters in between your coats showing off. It's a very squishy feel on application though, so go in light, let it slowly build up to maximize the glitters and the shimmer payoff, but just be careful of any over buildup. This one is quite similar to With a Smile, the rainbow crelly one we just saw, in terms of texture and thirstiness, so you'll really want to use a glitter smoothing top coat and a glossy top coat together. Go in light on your glitter smoothing top coat, again, to prevent any sort of over buildup, because we've also got squishy formula and heavier types of glitters, but this is so stunning in person. Coral Oasis is our last one for the Indies Down Under collab. This one's described as a light blue, somewhat green base filled with pink to green shifting iridescent flakes and silver hollow micro flakes. Straight crelly goodness here, very easy to build to opacity. I think 2 to 3 coats is perfect depending on how you apply. This is going to have quite a bit of a rainbow-like effect in the sunshine, bright lights, or those awesome public bathroom lights. And indoor lighting, you're going to see that iridescent effect from the chunkier, medium-sized flakes. I would also suggest a glitter smoothing top coat with this and a glossy top coat, because you will have thirstiness from all those chunky flakes on your nails. Overall, this is what I would consider a cooler toned type of base. So this is one of those minty sort of greens that's going to be universally flattering. And we're going to wrap this up with the Will It Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. So multi-chromes, shimmers, we've got some jellies. They all work for the most part. 4 Hours is stunning over black. It vamped it out. Fascinate works really well too, and it just amplified that blue shimmer in the backdrop there. Sing Along as a foil, no surprise. This is going to look stunning over matchy-match bases and black. Also exploits that purple shift. With a Smile, I chose white because you wouldn't want to put a light color over a dark undie. You match undies, obviously, but personally, I think it's too crelly to topper. Throwing Shade is stunning over dark colors. This is going to look fantastic over dark grays and, of course, black. Of course, we're seeing that strong purpley bluish cast in the backdrop too. What happens next almost applies like that topper we saw last month, so you can get a little creative with this one. Just keep in mind the base is quite pigmented. Twilight Tides, it takes away the blue base, which is unfortunate, but over black and dark colors, you will exploit that beautiful Aurora shimmer. And then Coral Oasis for acrylic actually works really well. It looks like a topper by itself over dark colors. I would just be mindful and use it with matchy-match colors outside of black. So the 2 Indies Down Under polishes are going to launch on Emily DeMolly's website. Will launch Thursday, May 9th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and will run until May 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Those are for the Indies Down Under. Now the regular releases are going to be launching the beginning of May, and that's going to be Wednesday, May 1st at 10 a.m. Australian time on the Australian website or Tuesday, April 30th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to have the Australian site and the US/international website link below in the description box. And I'll also have the Facebook group if you want to see additional swatches and sneak peeks and all that fun stuff. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.